What going on, guys? Commander, and welcome to a first impressions opinions review for the newest update for Star Wars Battlefront II. Now, this update has added a number of different things into it. Now, this is probably going to have a part 2 to it, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. The only reason why is that this update is based on the Rise of Skywalker, now the new Star Wars movie, but because it's got 4 new reinforcements, which is what I want to talk about today. However, the new map that they're adding in is not going live until Friday. Now, I'm recording this on the Wednesday, and it's not going live until the Friday because they want to release it after the movies come out. After the majority of people who want to go see the movie and want it spoiler-free, can go and see it, and then it'll, whatever. So, I might do a separate review on that. It might just be like a 10-minute video, maybe even less, really, because there's probably not much to say about the map, but I might just do, like, a review of it, and then just some Easter eggs that I may find, or what have you, but I'd probably, maybe just post a gameplay clip of me playing it on, YouTube, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it. However, what I want to do today is I want to go over the reinforcements that have been added. So there's 4 reinforcements that have been added. 2 for the First Order and 2 for the Resistance. So the first the reinforcements that have been added are the Sith troopers, a new rocket trooper, the Ovissian Gunner, and the Caphex Spy. Now, I'm going to go through each of them one at a time and go through what I liked and what I didn't like about them. So, first of all, the Sith Trooper. Now, this reinforcement has to be my most favourite, probably, in my personal opinion, my favourite reinforcement in this update. Maybe in this entire game, just because of how well it works. And the reason why is that, as far as, like, pros are concerned, it's really good offensively, but personally, now I haven't tried this yet because I've only played this in the co-op. Now I would put some gameplay. This is not my gameplay, by the way. If whoever's gameplay that I choose to use, it'll be the link to it be in the description down below. But this isn't my gameplay. So I tried playing and I tried recording some co-op, but Battlefront 2 after its update for some reason is really buggy. I don't know why, but whenever I play back the video, it's just a buggy mess, just the recording in itself, because for some reason Battlefront 2 has been a nuisance. But anyway, yeah, so that's the reason why. I will put some gameplay up at some point. Maybe it is after this video has got, before this video has gone live. I don't know. It depends on when this video is scheduled to go out. However, the Sith troopers, while playing it, now I haven't played it defensively yet, but judging by the way that it works amazingly offensively. Like you can use the one of the abilities to look at where all your enemies are, chuck a grenade, which basically explodes and stops them from regenerating health, and then spray them down and move on. It's really good offensively. However, in close quarters combat, like let's say on the Star Destroyer phases, or the in Capital Supremacy the ship phases, on defensiveness, I think it will work even better. Like you can use your ability to see where everybody else is, chuck a grenade in there, do the exact same thing, and you basically push the enemy back. I think that'll work incredibly well in a defensive way. Now, again, I haven't tried it, and in the future I may try it and see what it's like, but I think in a defensive position it'd be even better. Now, also, on the topic of abilities, the abilities are new, and it makes playing the Sith Trooper so much more fun. I have this thing with EA and DICE, and it's not their fault because they're trying to make their lives as easy as possible. But I'll go on to this a little bit later on in the video. I prefer it when they make brand new abilities. Now, when I say that I don't like it when, that means I must not like it when they use the same abilities. I don't mind it if it's the same, but it's changed in some way. Now, when we get to the Caphex Spy, I'll mention this then. But it's fine if it's like ever so slightly similar, but if it's ever so slightly different, just as long as it plays different, and you could have to work your way around it. The issue that I had with the jet troopers from not this one that's included in this update, but the other jet troopers from all the jet troopers aside from this one before it's been changed. They're all exactly the same, and it doesn't make for very good gameplay because you know how to do it, you know how it works, and so it's exactly the same every single time. whereas with the Enforcer class, so let's say the Wookiee Warrior, oh, what is it? The Flamethrower and the Death Trooper, etc. They all work very differently. So all their playstyles are very different, which is what I like. And now that this Rocket Troop has been added in, and I'll talk about it later, it makes the abilities to change, so you have to adapt your playstyle to it, and it is so good. I like it. I love it when they change the abilities, and the Sith Trooper is no exception to this. They've changed the abilities. The abilities are really good. 2 of the 3 abilities are absolutely insane. The grenade, it works brilliantly, especially in conjunction with the like foresight ability, the thermal vision, where you see where your enemies are, sort of thing. The third ability, I can't remember what it is for the life of me, but I remember trying it a couple of times. It works, it just doesn't work properly. But again, that's nothing against them. It's just the case that's just what I've experienced playing the game. Maybe it's just the case that the game is a bit buggy in the moment and I can't use it properly. But also, and this is just, I'm just going to say from now, all of these models and all of these reinforcements look visually stunning. It is incredible. I can't stress enough how much. I'm going to do a video on this, the Sith Troopers, because if you remember, we did a video on a Sith Trooper mod, and I'm going to go back to that mod, and I'm going to compare it with the one that EA and DICE made, because I said that I would do this. So I'm going to go do that. It'll be a future video. Don't know when it is, because I'll have to get a chance to record it, and Christmas is coming up, as far as recording this video is concerned. So, as far as recording this video is concerned, Christmas is coming up, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get the chance to record it. We'll see. I might get the chance to slip in a quick recording here, there, and everywhere. But, so yeah, they look, from start to finish, all of these models look absolutely insane. I can't say anything bad about them. I'm so happy with it. I do think, though, that the First Order Troopers, the base skins for the infantry, so the assault, heavy, whatever, I think they've been changed slightly. I think the models and materials have been updated. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the fact that I haven't played, I'm so into Clone Wars content that I haven't played the First Order and the Resistance stuff much, so I wouldn't have noticed it. But I think they've updated it ever so slightly. It may show up later on that they say, oh yeah, we did update him. It's only a slight change, but we did update it. And yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, on to the things that I'm not a massive fan of with the Sith Trooper, and it's only little things, it's nothing major. It's just something that I've noticed while using it. I'm not a massive fan of the sound of the gun, and what I mean by that is that what it sounds like, and you may disagree with me, and I know they can't really do a lot about this because it's to do with what they've got. They've basically got to do what they've got to work with in the movie. If it's not tugged next to the movie, they can't do anything about it. But it sounds like a machine gun, so like let's say a MP4 and an AK-47 or something with a suppressor on it. That's what it sounds like. Now, whereas the secondary fire mode actually does sound really cool, and I'm not a massive fan of the secondary fire, and this is I'm going to come on to in a second. But the sound of the main gun is not. It's okay. It's just a bit of it. I'm not a massive fan of the sound of it. And again, it's not their fault because they have to go with what the movie says that the guns sound like. So that's not their fault. I'm not holding it against them, but that's what I feel about the sound of that gun. And when I get into the movie, when I do my review on the Rise of Skywalker, I will probably say that the sound of the Sith Trooper gun is not really very good because it is a bit weird. But anyway, onto the secondary fire mode is something I'm not a massive fan of. And I'm not saying this that I don't like it, because I have got some legitimate kill streaks with it. But it's just, since the game first came out and we had the hero Iden Versio, she was the first one that had the secondary fire ability as on her character. And I've never been a massive fan of it, only because I very much like to stand, away and shoot from a distance. I will go in occasionally with a grenade and just chuck one in and commit suicide at the same time as getting 3 kills, but for the most part I like to just stand back and just shoot people from afar. Now the only issue with the Sith troops is you can't do that, because as soon as you zoom in, the secondary fire charges up, and it's not for them, it's not just for them, for Iden Versio and all the other weapons that got secondary fire on them, it's exactly the same. But I just don't like that secondary fire mode, and some people love it, some people work well with it really well, and I think if I got used to it, I could work well with it, just working well with it perfectly fine, but I don't like it. I'm not a massive fan of it, and again, that's just more of a personal preference than anything else. Again, it's the same with the sound of the gun. It's not an issue. You know, I can just look past it. It's the same with secondary fire, but it's just personal preference. I'm not a massive fan of that. So anyway, now on to the rocket trooper. Now, the first thing, and this is just a pro, I'm just putting this on the pros because I just, oh wow, this is actually pretty good, because I was worrying this was not going to be the case. It's replaced the old jet trooper with brand new abilities and weapons. Now, I was so concerned, I'm not just the only one, because I was watching other Battlefront YouTubers do this as well, and they said the exact same thing. They're slightly concerned that the rocket trooper was just going to be a separate reinforcement, or a skin to the one we've got at the moment. Now, I was thinking, I certainly hope they don't do it. Now, if they do it, then that old rocket trooper is going to become obsolete, because there's no point in it. But what they've done is they've completely taken it out and put the new one back in. You completely replaced it through and through. And I'm thinking, oh my god, they are geniuses. That is so good. I'm glad that they did that. Because, I don't know. Maybe, again, that's just more of a personal thing for me. But, and not only did they replace it with the new jet trooper, the new abilities and weapons are there as well. It's so good. The new abilities for the jet trooper, hands down, are amazing. And now I'm going to go over to the one problem I have with it. It's only a little problem. It's with the jetpack system. But aside from that, the abilities of the weapons are insane. I've only got a slight complaint with the I think it's like a grenade barrage or something. The only issue that I have, and again, it's only a little thing because it's just me being nitpicky. It's literally only just me being nitpicky. But I'm a little bit fussed with the fact that the reload for the barrage is a bit slow. I personally think that you should use it as you can be given a cooldown and then you can use it again, and not just have to go through that reloading cycle. Or if you are going to go through that reloading cycle, make it slightly quicker. But aside from that, I've got no issues with the abilities at all. Aside from the jetpack system, but I'll get onto that in a second. Again, looks absolutely incredible, and it's different from the other rocket troopers. And again, this is back to the point I was saying with the Sith trooper about things being different. It makes its freshness. If that rocket trooper had basically just got a texture change, it's basically adding a separate appearance to the rocket trooper. And I'm just there thinking, and I would just be there thinking, oh, right, it's just a new skin, it's a new appearance. We've not changed anything, you know. There's been no change whatsoever to it at all. It's just a skin change. But when they change the abilities, you're thinking, oh, we've got something new to play with. We've got new abilities. We got like an entire new system to learn. And you know, and that's what I like about the Sith Trooper, because the abilities are so different. We have to learn. We've got new ways to play the game. We've got new ways to we can things that weren't possible before as far as tactics were concerned, to outflank the enemy team and stuff like that. We can now do that because of these new abilities. It's really, really good. And it's different, and I love the difference between it, because I like to separate things about this is different, this is different, this is different, not rather than saying all this is just the same. You know, I don't know, perfect personal thing for me. But also on the things I don't like, now I was saying about the jetpack system, and this is my only complaint with the rocket trooper. Aside from that, the rocket trooper is absolutely insane. The jetpack system is just a bit of a pain to navigate. Now, when I saw the community transmission for the rocket trooper, I thought, okay, it's going to be a bit like how Boba Fett handles. Now, Boba Fett doesn't have a zoom ability, and which again is a bit of a pain, but looking at the way the rocket trooper handles, it's sort of better that he doesn't have a zoom ability, and it works in the way that he does. How Boba Fett works is, if you want to use his jetpack, you have to right-click on your mouse. And when you right-click on your mouse and it sends you up, you let go, you start going down again, and you use your charge as you go. So you have a little set amount of fuel for your jetpack. If you use it up, your jetpack shuts off, and you got to wait for it to recharge, whatever. With the rocket trooper, your Q ability is the one you use to launch yourself up in the air. It works exactly the same, but except it's Q instead of the right mouse button. Now, personally, if you want to be hovering in the air, you've got to use Q, fly up into the air, then press and hold the right mouse button to hover in the air until your jetpack fuel runs out, and then it shuts itself off. Personally, if I could just change it ever so slightly, and again, if I could go in personally and change the key bindings, I would, and I'd change it to what it is at the what Boba Fett is like, but I can't do it for specific troopers, which is a bit of a pain. I would have it the same as Boba Fett. So you use your right mouse button to go upwards and downwards and what have you. I think that would work so much better. Again, for consoles, it would work absolutely fine. But for keyboard and mouse, it's a little bit fiddly. And I found myself, again, you can't see the gameplay because it doesn't work. Because the gameplay is bugged. But I was flying up and round and trying to use Q as well as WASD to move and use my mouse to shoot at the same time. I'm pressing so many buttons at once that I miss a key and then I end up dying. So it's again that's just me being an idiot for the most part. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I prefer to have it with the mouse like Boba Fett is. Now I play Boba Fett a bit. I don't play him too much, but when I do play him, I do quite well because of the way his jetpack is. You know, it's an OP jetpack, but it works really well in that regard. But anyway, I'm gonna have to speed up a bit because I'm running out of time here. So the Ovissian Gunner. Now again, looks amazing, obviously, whatever. Now the abilities for the most part are really cool, and they are really good for the most part. And I'll come on to what I don't like about it in a second. But it's very different to the others. And when I say this, it's got a Gatling gun, and I don't know what it's called. It's the Heavy Trooper's special ability, his middle special ability. I call it a Gatling gun. It's not a Gatling gun. Rotary Blaster, that's what it is. They got a Rotary Blaster. And it's very different. Now, I can see this one being, and I say how the Sith Troopers can be used as defense quite easily. This one, all you need, if you get 3 or more of these Ovissian Gunners at the defensive position, looking on at the First Order, all firing all at once, you've got your defenses sorted. That is literally, you've got nowhere left to run. Anybody who comes in, as long as you're protected by some form of overshield that you can retreat into, because doesn't slow them down, that Rotary Blast like it does with the heavy. You can able to sprint with it. If you've got some form of shield to retreat into, any defensive side for the resistance, you are done. You are perfectly fine. You can hold off against any resistance, any First Order ambushes, as long as you play your cards right with those Ovissian Gunners. It's so good. And again, this is what I like. I like when they add new stuff in, because it makes you think. It makes you think how you need to do it differently. You know, then they make the First Order turn around and think, right, how do we go about this? How do we, can we sneak about and take them from behind, maybe break their defenses? You know, it makes you think. And that's what I really like about this Ovissian Gunner. But however, the thing that I think about the Ovissian Gunner, as far as its main abilities is concerned, is very unique. However, I feel personally that this is the one they've worked on the least, and the only reason why I say that is because, however, it's very different, and it is very different, and I think it'd be really good in game. Nothing part of the Ovissian Gunner is new. It's all recycled abilities. What's it called? The Gatling gun it's basically a heavy's ability just as the primary weapon. The Rotary Blaster, that's what it is. It's basically giving the heavy's ability to the another reinforcement as a primary weapon. One of the abilities is a heavy star card. One of the abilities is a enforcer's ability, which makes sense because it's an enforcer. And I can't remember what the third one was. Oh, the third one is a charge. A charge like Chewbacca's charge. So it's not that it's a bad reinforcement, because it'd be really helpful in defensive on the Resistance dreadnoughts and stuff like that. But I feel they just haven't worked on it as well as they could do. They could have added different abilities. You know, they could have added a rapid fire. You know, I know the Rotary Blaster is rapid fire anyway, but you could have added a super rapid fire. You know, just consistent fire, no charge on it. You know, just a spray and pray anybody that comes at you. You know, they could have added just different things to make it slightly different. But because it's all exactly the same, we all know how these abilities work. You know, and we all know how to work around them. So where it can be really good and really different in some respects, the majority of it is exactly the same, and it's just going to take a moment of time just just for people to work out, right, this is what this is what this is, and just get on and go with it. There's no learning aspect to the Ovissian Gunner at all. Now, the last one we need to go over is the Caphex Spy. Now, this one is, personally, I do love it. It's a really, really good one, and the orbital strike ability is really cool. Personally, my favourite ability in this entire update that they've added, mainly just because, like, orbital strike in this game is nothing new. We had this in Galactic Assault, Capital Supremacy, whatever. Anything to do with, like, the AT-AT that needs to be moved or whatever. You can get an orbital strike on there straight away, but it's really OP. And when I read the community transmission, it said that this Caphex Spy is going to have an orbital strike ability. I thought, oh god, it's going to be really OP. It's not. It's actually surprisingly balanced. It's not, like, overly, like, a massive bombardment that wipes out the entire enemy team. It would do, well, sort of does in Galactic Assault. But it's very much it's been toned down, and it works as a very quickly rechargeable ability. The only issue I have with it is a bit buggy. It's not massively buggy, but the idea is that you chuck it in front of the enemy. It shows you on your ability section, like, how many enemies there are, and then you press it and then sends the orbital strike down. I chucked it a number of times in a massive crowd of AI players on co-op, and nothing showed up on that it was registering as any, like, AIs at all. And now that's just a simple fix, it's just like AI recognition, but it is a little bit buggy. But when it does work, it works amazingly. I can't fault it at all. It's a really, really good ability. But however, the other two abilities seem recycled. Now, the two other abilities are a rapid fire burst and a staff strike sort of thing. Now, the rapid fire burst is the same as Han's sharpshooter. It's pretty much exactly the same. It's just put on a different gun. And the staff strike is basically Phasma staff strike. It's exactly the same. The only difference being is, now I could say this is, I could say you can get away with this because it is ever so slightly different. It works slightly different. You've got to be a bit more, like, closer, I think, to actually use it. And I suppose I could say that's fine. But again, it's the same sort of thing. The sharpshooter ability is just exactly the same as what Han's got. So, and I can't work with that thing anyway. I can't work with that. The only thing that would be good for me is firing up on objectives. That's the only thing it'd be good for me. Everything else is just, it's a bit, nah. I can't use sharpshooter. It's just too, anyway, never mind. But the other complaint that I have with it, and again, it's not a massive complaint, it's just something I've noticed I just feel like I need to say, is it's very close to the officer class. When I used it, I thought, okay, this is going to be, like, a really, like, diverse character. Yes, it is going to be a pistol character, but it's probably going to work a lot well. The abilities are going to move because you've got orbital strike and sharpshooter and whatnot. It's going to be able to work around around you like that, and it's going to be a lot better. But the way that the gun works, it works basically the same as what the officer does. And again, it just seems like an officer's skin. A new officer skin for the Resistance, but with just different abilities. That's what it seems like to me. There's no difference in the weapons and how you fight. This is the only one where the weapon is not something brand new. It's just it works, aside from the Ovissian Gunner, but we haven't seen it as a primary weapon yet. But the Caphex Spy, it's the only one where the gun is not different, and it works basically the same as an officer would. So again, it's just little things, but it's not game breaking. It doesn't make the game, like, impossible to play. And I wouldn't say that I would never use the Caphex Spy because of this. You know, any of the cons I mentioned in this video, I'm not saying that I wouldn't use any of the reinforcements because of those, because the goods far outweigh the bads. But it's just things that I've picked up on, and I think that should be, like, mentioned. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content. If you have any other suggestions for videos that I do need to do, or do want me to do, then leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll get to it when I can. But yeah, I love this update. It's really good. I'm really interested to see what this map looks like. The only thing that I think it's going to be, the only nitpick I'm going to have with it, is it seems very much like a Yalvin 4 or a Takodana or another, you know, Kashyyyk or Endor or something like that. I hope it's not. I hope it's got a bit more diversity to it. But again, I'll maybe do a video on that. If it's anything massively different, I think, wow, I need to do a video on this, I'll do a video on it. If it's not, then I won't. I'll just leave it. I'll I'll do a video, like, I'll put a bit of gameplay off with a little bit of, like, a brief opinion on what I think it should be and what have you. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I shall see you all later. Bye!